such is the nature of curation, and we make no apology. So hello and welcome to the vlog. I'm out here in the back corner of the back bit of forest on the edge of the backfield at camp. It's not somewhere I come very often. It has a great view. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that view up there. That's like a canyon. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about music, but this time not about music that I've made, but music that other people have made. And one of the things I've been doing for the last 4 years at camps at Emmett Baraka is making a playlist, and the playlist is stuff that we play. So if you're a Spotify user, this is a video that should particularly be of interest to you, because you'll have easy access to this playlist. You simply go to the Novimos Media Spotify profile, you go to the public playlists, and then you look for Emmett Baraka 2026. I have my laptop here. That's what it looks like. This week I've had a lot of people coming up to me and asking me about different songs on the playlist, and it made me think I should make a video for you guys out there on YouTube who want to know some of the stuff we're using and want some new music in your life. I want to give a particular shout out to the team from WeDoAdventure in Italy who've been here. They have been particular fans of my playlist, and that means a lot to me. When you compile a playlist, it's always nice when people appreciate it and they enjoy the music that's on it. So a particular thanks to those guys, and we're going to jump into this little rundown of what's on the playlist by picking out some of their favourite songs that they've been talking about. So we've got 64 songs on the playlist. We're not going to talk about them all, but if you were to jump in at number 47, it's a song called Working Me by Joshua Lazar, or Laser, however you pronounce it. My first pronunciation is how I pronounce it here in Bosnia. Laser probably in English. Strong song. And on the playlist it's followed up by Jesus is King by Flyver Music and Blanca. A lot of love for that song too. And then Sarah on our team here, she really enjoyed hearing the Next Chapter remix or remake of Jumping in the House of God. If you don't know the Worldwide Message Tribe original of that, you should really check that out. That is a piece of British CCM history. Nice to know that I still know how to say jump in a very northern kind of way, as is appropriate for that song. And then following up that, track 50 on the playlist is Joy is Coming by Rave Jesus, Terry Ann and Son, and that sounds really great over the PA as well. So when I'm putting a playlist together for camps, what I'm thinking about is different phases of the day. There's stuff when I fire up the PA in the morning, I want to play some music, and that's mostly to me to make sure that I've turned the PA and the monitors on. But I want kind of good morning, wake up, none of the jet day. It's going to be a good one kind of music, but not anything too way intense, but summer vibes. Lows to highs, as you can see right there. Track 2 on this by Good Weather Forecast. I'm really enjoying playing that at the beginning of the day. Then, you know, I want to go through and sort of group together different genres of music. So we've got some hip hop, we've got some sort of indie pop into some indie rock, we've got some dance music, trance, techno, whatever you want to call it. We've got a little bit of country music and a little bit of folk music in there, and we've got some stuff that's probably falling somewhere in the kind of contemporary gospel thing. 2 tracks on that I want to point out. Breathe On It by Torin Wells, Testimony, which is a collab between Terry Ann and CeCe Winans. So near to that on the playlist, if you can see that little red icon there, Voyage by Tree 63. Tree 63, who knew? Making a comeback after all these years. And although I can't say that I was a huge fan back in the day, that track I'm really enjoying. Got some real retro synths on it. Down a bit from that, track number 19 on here is Good Old Days by Bodie and Kane. That's a good summer sounding song. For this one, shout goes out to my nephew Sammy, who told me about this song. We were discussing Corey Wong and Wolfpack, bands like that, and he said Cole McSween, he has a song called The Lord Will Make a Way, and that's something that falls a little bit close to that sort of funky ballpark. And then if you're into slightly more experimental sounding worship stuff, For Your Glory by Bragg Worship and Trip Lee, that's his new sort of worship project. A couple other classics that we should point out: Shine Jesus Shine, the Called Out Music remake, and Ben Compton's remake of Draw Me Close. I have to thank my brother Dave, I think. or it might be Adam, but it was one of them, pointed that out to me, and that needed to go onto this. For those who are slightly older in the audience and want some nostalgia vibes. So this morning's question was, what's this song? And the song was Looking For You by Gable Price and Friends. And I saw him at Big Church Festival. It was either last year or the year before, probably the year before. Really enjoyed it. For me, that's just my kind of music, and so it was really nice that somebody else was appreciating me putting something like that on the playlist. So let's say there are 3 rules when I compile one of these playlists. I'm looking for Christian music, so stuff that isn't necessarily worship music, but is definitely coming from a Christian perspective. It's something that's got a positive message that is summer vibey. So that might be mixing 2 things, because it's got to be summer vibey Christian music that you want to hear over PA. So there's stuff like all the world of heavier music. I'm deliberately ignoring it because to me that's not summer vibes when I play it over a PA. If you're a fan of heavier bands, this isn't a playlist for you. And if you're a fan of some things that are like intensely acoustic and intimate, this probably isn't a playlist for you either, because I'm not interested in one person on an acoustic guitar pouring their heart out in this context. I think they should do that. I think they should put that music out there. To me, that's not summer vibes at summer camp played over the PA sort of music, if you understand what I'm saying. So there's some stylistic parameters, such as the nature of curation, and we make no apologies for it. The other thing that I have as a rule, once summer camp season stops, I can start collecting songs like new releases through to the next summer camp season. So that means this list is like September 2025 to July 2026 releases. So you know, if you're listening to something on this list, it's new, it's not been around for years, barring the remakes. That's permissible, but they're releases that have come out in the last calendar year. The last thing that I do try to, and I haven't done so well on that on this playlist, is I try not to give certain artists lots and lots of spots. That gets harder the more people collaborate, because then you're like, well, are they just the guest artist or someone else's song? But what I want to do is try and, you know, spread the love as much as possible, help introduce people to a wider range as possible of artists within my This Is a Summer Camp playlist parameters. Find the playlist if you're on Spotify. It's a public playlist on the Novimos Media Spotify profile. So that's it for this week's vlog from this wonderful, quiet, wooded corner on the edge of the Amak Baraka campsite. Thanks very much for watching. Do give us a big thumbs up for making a playlist. Do leave a comment or question if you want to know more. And do remember that together we do adventure. We'll see you next time.